I think the dangerous thing, when you start looking at what Mormonism teaches, I mean, on the cover, it looks very similar. They've got a guy named Jesus. They talk about God the Father. They talk about family. They talk about having a book that we look to for guidance. I mean, they'll come rake your yard. They'll, clean out your gutters. They'll serve, and they'll claim to do it all in the name of Christ. And I think they do it in the name of a Christ. But when you begin to sit down and you investigate what it is that Mormonism teaches, it's just a whole different deal. I mean, they've got a different God. They've got a different Jesus. They don't view the Holy Spirit in the same way. I mean, in the end, they follow after the very first temptation, that you will be like God. I mean, that's kind of the whole goal, is that they live such a righteous life that one day they would be able to get their own place where they are going to be able to be God. So when you take the cover off of it, the cover, of course, I mean, that's how Satan does. I mean, he disguises himself as an angel of light. But when you take the cover off of that, you see that the arrows that appear to be pointing in the same direction are pointing in a very different direction and leading us away to a God who was one day a human like us, who frankly had sex with a woman, and that's how we started having, that's how Jesus and Satan, who are brothers, and all these other things that they're not going to tell you when they knock on your door, but these are the teachings of the Mormon Church. And what's interesting about that is many of those teachings I mentioned actually aren't found in the Book of Mormon. So if you start looking through there, you won't find it, but they will begin to teach those things later through some of their other prophets. And actually even Hinckley, one of their former presidents, very, very clearly stated, you can find it, Google it, that we believe in a different Jesus than the traditional Jesus. They'll just say it. And Paul in 2 Corinthians warned, just because somebody says the name Jesus doesn't mean it's the same Jesus of the Bible. There's tons of antichrist out there. That means against Christ. So I think anybody who's starting to wrestle with these ideas of Mormonism, I think it's important to go to somebody who's maybe a little bit more mature in the faith and talk to them about, hey, these are some of the claims I'm hearing. What should I do with these?